Inside, noticeably number 7 Steve Mortimer is in at halfback replacing the Queenslander Mark Murray, and in the forwards Ray Price returns, Wally Fullerton Smith into the second row and Brian Niebling into the front row with the injury to Paul Vorton. The back line for Great Britain, and that's good news, but in the forwards Mick Adams goes back into lock forward with Mick Worrell out. Goodway and Burton remain in the second row, and we've got 2 new prop forwards. We've got Hobbs and Case replacing Keith Rain and Lee Crooks, who played in the second test. On halfway, Canescu dummy half, Lewis. Good raking kick, looking for the line. I don't think it'll find it. It's in the in goal. There's Drummond is back. Grape got down and Price with him very quickly. Price has got him. Lovely tackle that from Price. Burke. Jack making a good break. Good pass to Meninga. Showing the power and speed now. Standing in the tackle to pick up Price. He was very, very close to getting that ball away to Pearce. Meninga, Mortimer. That's Dowling. Lewis outside. Good pass to Miles. Good tackle too. Nice tackle by Mumby. Dowling dummy half. Lewis. The Australians applying the pressure now. Dowling. That was Chris Burton going high to stop him. Lewis to the blind side. Little chip kick. Look at Bowstead on the far wing. And knocked into touch by Great Britain. Touch judges come in. Well, that's got to be an Australian. Adams pushing his way into dummy half. David Hobbs will play it. Back to his skipper, Brian Noble. Adams. Goodway's pass finds Myler. Steps inside Lewis. Myler up the middle. Showing a better step today. Myler's made a good clean break over halfway. Beautifully tackled though by Price. Great Britain for the first time on the attack in Australia's half. This is Hanley. Hanley's through. Hanley's going for the line. Hanley will be able to score. Ellery Hanley's done it himself. His 8th try of the tour. Great Britain scored the first try, and it came from this individual run from Ellery. And there was Wayne Pearce. So Holding. Hanley. That's Schofield. Driving tackle. Fullerton Smith coming in on him very, very solidly. Knocked into touch by Gene Miles, and another scrum feed to Great Britain. Ten minutes before half-time. Great Britain leading 6 points to 2. That's Burke. Miles, the tackler. Schofield. Adams. Noble. No one with him. Adams. Schofield ducking around him to get the return pass. Holding just getting the ball away. Great Britain lost it, but it went backwards, and Burton powering his way towards the defence. Gary Jack holds him up. 1 to go for Great Britain, right in front of the Australian posts. That's Myler. Dummying the kick and trying to step through. Got a pass behind the defence. Schofield's got it, but it was knocked on.
It was this pass from Myler to Schofield, and it certainly looked as though it went okay. And he didn't knock it on, I don't think, and certainly wasn't a forward pass, but that's what's been ruled.
Yeah, I think he was ruling the pass was forward. That's a good scrum win to Great Britain, and Burke has been slammed to the ground by Meninga. A win against the head to Great Britain. Adams running into dummy half. Great Britain putting the pressure back on Australia. That's Hanley. Nice tackle by Lewis. but Hanley got out of it. Got away from Bosted, got away from Conescu, got away from Dowling. And halfback Steve Mortimer puts him down. Good break by Ellery Hanley, the try scorer. That's Adams. Possesses good ball skills, this fellow. Will play it to Noble, his skipper. Holding, drop goal attempt right in front. And a one-pointer. Great Britain 7, Australia 2. Halfback Neil Holding from right in front.
Well, Great Britain really just have to keep the Australians at bay for the last 3 minutes before half-time. It really will be a boost for them to go in at the break, leading 7-4.
Fullerton Smith is 20 metres inside his own territory. Conescu, Mortimer. Little chip kick through. Will he get the bounce? He does. Good backing up too. Brian Niebling is just over halfway. That's a sort of variety in the Australians' play that could upset this British defence, which has been well drilled for this game. Long one to the centres to Pearce and Meninga and Grove. Cover across. Lovely tackle, Schofield. Reminiscent of one he made on the big fellow in Brisbane. Miles. Lewis pass finds Dowling running wide. Lewis. Away goes Conescu up to the quarter line. Long one to the wing. It's Meninga there. On towards Grove. Schofield across. He's over. Incredible try. Great Britain players are protesting. They say that Grape went into touch. The touch judge doesn't agree. A try has been ruled, and it's that remarkable winger, Eric Grape. Price, Mortimer, Lewis. Well, this is the testing time for Great Britain. Will it be a repeat of the earlier test? Australia into the second half now, looking for those points that will win them the match. Ray Price, dummy half. Mortimer. That's Miles. One to go. Conescu to dummy half. He darts away himself. Conescu's over. He scored. A try to Greg Conescu. And that Great Britain defence was very, very lax. They should have been alert to that. Conescu ready. Plenty of shouting going on out there. Bosted. Didn't have the happiest of matches in Brisbane, Kerry Bosted, but he's done nothing wrong today. Right back to his best form. Price. Mortimer. Price. On the burst is Dowling. Bumping away from Burton. Again, that forward going too high. Trying to stop the progress of the ball carrier with the shoulder rather than going low around the legs. Gene Miles, Australia getting their attack moving now. There's been more fluency in their attack. Better positioning, better passing. Mortimer is Jack. Dowling. Allowed to run, putting Australia on the move again. Pearce. Another good tackle from Keith Mumby, who's been one of Britain's best defenders on this tour. Niebling. Pearce on to Bosted. One to go. Lewis. Kick and chase. Gets there first and just couldn't control it. And a knock on.
Well, that 2-1 majority in penalties has been maintained right throughout this match.
And what could the scoreline have been if Meninga had taken advantage of them too, Gary?
Well, it's 5 goals he's missed, so if he'd kicked them, and really only 1 or 2 that were difficult, Alan, they'd have been at least 6 or 8 points ahead.
Well, here's a chance for Australia on the blindside wing, and it's thrown in field, and Gary Jack is going to race away from a beautiful pass from Bosted under the posts. That try coming up. Dowling onto Jack. We talked about the selections of some of the players, and there are also a few comments passed earlier this year about the reappointment of Frank Stanton as the Australian coach. Here's Eric Grape down the far wing. Grape sprinting away from the defence. Fullback to beat. Nice tackle. One to go for Australia. Lewis. Not a good pass. Well, I'm sure those critics of Frank Stanton. Britain from the scrum feed of Steve Mortimer. 3 minutes to go in the game. Great Britain 10 metres out. Great Britain trying to get through this Australian defence in the dying minutes of the game. 2 minutes to go. Holding. Still getting the ball back. Noble clears it quickly. Here's a chance for Great Britain. Schofield, an in pass. Close to the line. He's going over. He's there. He's dropped the ball over the line. And Greg Conescu, he's won the scrums. He's been everywhere. Tackled well. Australian scrum win. Time running out. Australia looking for more points towards the end of the game. Gary Jack juggles. The game is almost up. Australia have scored tries to Greg Conescu and Gary Jack. Meninga kicks 4 goals from 9 attempts. Ellery Hanley, the try scorer for Great Britain. A goal to Mick Burke and a drop goal to Neil Holding. Australia led 8-7 at half-time. And they've completed this 3-0 win in the series by winning this third test by 20 points to 7.